Maya Sparkle's Adventure to the Treetop Bloom. In a tiny cottage nestled in the heart of a magical forest, Maya Sparkle woke up to the chittering of birds and the soft glow of dancing lights that filtered through her window. With her bright pink hair tied in 2 playful ponytails and her big round blue eyes shining, the 7-year-old girl stretched and yawned, ready for a new day's adventure. Her village was a patchwork of colorful houses, each one alive with the laughter and chatting of friendly neighbors. Yet, amidst the joy, Maya held a secret. Heights made her feel like her tummy was filled with fluttering butterflies, and her knees turned to wobbly jelly. She wished to climb the tallest trees like her friends. But the thought alone made her stop, her tiny freckle on her left cheek turning pale. Luckily, Maya wasn't alone in her fears. Nutty, a lively squirrel with soft chestnut fur, was her constant friend. "You're not the only one with wobbly knees," he'd say with a sparkle in his shiny black eyes. "And remember, every big tree began as a little acorn, just like your courage will grow." "I wish I didn't feel so scared. I know I can be brave," Maya thought to herself. She remembered hearing about a boy named Lucas, who used to be afraid like her, but now he could climb without a worry. If he can do it, why can't I? Maya's heart felt heavy as she watched the other children swing from branch to branch, their laughter reaching high above. She imagined herself joining them, feeling the wind rush past her face, the branches strong under her feet. But then, the butterflies would start their dance, and she'd sigh, knowing she was stuck on the ground. Sometimes, Maya would close her eyes and say to herself, "I am safe and cozy, even up high." She thought about the times she'd climbed onto her bed without a second thought, nothing like the huge trees outside. "I can do little climbs, so maybe one day I'll make the big ones too," she mused. The Whispering Crystal. One sunny afternoon, as Maya and Nutty played hide-and-seek among the ferns, they found a tiny, twinkling star-shaped crystal, partly hidden under a leaf. Nutty cracked a joke about finding a star that had fallen from the sky just to play with them, making Maya laugh. The crystal began to whisper, its voice as soft as a breeze. "Look for the Bravery Blossom at the top of the highest tree, for it holds the key to flying free." Maya's heart jumped. Could this be the answer to her fears? Another whisper followed. "Your mission isn't just for you, dear child. The forest needs your courage to stay wild and gentle." Maya and Nutty looked at each other confused. "It's a riddle," Maya said, her voice filled with excitement. "We must find the Bravery Blossom to help the forest, and maybe help me too. Maybe this is my chance to face those huge heights and find my brave heart," Maya thought, her heart fluttering with hope. With the crystal in her pocket, Maya and Nutty began their mission. They wandered through the forest, the ground soft underfoot, and the leaves whispering secrets above. "We're on a big adventure, Nutty," Maya said, her voice steady and full of purpose. As they walked, they sang a little tune. "Through the woods, we boldly roam, looking for blossoms to make our own. Heights we'll climb, and fears we'll tame, for every step brings us light." Their friendship was strong, their spirits up, and they talked about the wonders they might discover. "We'll climb every tree until we reach the sky," Nutty said with excitement. Maya's heart fluttered with a mix of fun and nervousness. What if we reach a tree too tall for me, she wondered. But then she recalled the crystal's whispers and thought, I must try, for the forest and for me. The Path of Courage. After a day of traveling, they came to a space with 2 paths. One went farther into the forest, and the other led up a gentle hill. The crystal warmed in Maya's pocket, shining brightly towards the hill. "Look, Nutty, the crystal is showing us the way." Maya said, her blue eyes shining with new determination. With the hill ahead and the crystal's whispers in their ears, Maya and Nutty stepped forward, ready to climb and find the courage that lay inside. Stepping stones to bravery. As Maya Sparkle held the twinkling crystal, her heart pounding with possibility, she and Nutty started going up the gentle hill. The grass waved like a calm green sea, whispering stories of brave explorers who had been there before. "We're like explorers, finding new lands," Maya said, a mix of nervousness and happiness in her voice. With each step, Maya's bag felt a tiny bit heavier, reminding her of the challenge ahead. She looked up at the sky, a canvas of blue painted with soft white clouds, and took a deep breath. "I can do this," she told herself, feeling the crystal's warmth through her clothes. When they reached the top of the hill, they came to the edge of a shining pond. The water was as clear as glass, showing their curious faces. "Look, Maya," Nutty said with excitement, pointing to a line of stepping stones that went across the water. "Our first test." Maya's eyes grew wide at the sight. Each stone was a little higher above the water, a path to the other side where a group of silver-leaved trees stood, their branches catching the sunlight. "It's like stepping up into the sky," she whispered. "I'll be right here with you," Nutty said to comfort her, his tiny paw on her shoulder. "Remember, each stone is just a bit higher than the last. You've got this." Taking a big breath, Maya stepped onto the first stone. It was cool and solid under her foot. "I am safe and cozy, even up high," she repeated her calming words like a song. With Nutty's support, she moved from stone to stone, her confidence growing with each small win. When they made it to the last stone, Maya stood tall, smiling wide. "I did it!" she shouted, looking back at the path she had beaten. The crystal in her pocket gave a soft pulse, as if it was cheering her on. From the group of trees, a path of golden leaves appeared, leading them on. Maya and Nutty followed the trail, their hearts light with the joy of winning. The oak trees embrace. Their next challenge was in a meadow where flowers moved in the wind. In the center was a big oak tree, its branches reaching high into the sky. At its bottom, a spiral of branches made a natural ladder, twisting upwards. "Wow, that's really high," Maya said with a gulp, her bravery from before shaking a bit. Nutty ran up a few branches and looked down. "You can do it, Maya. Just one branch at a time. Think of it like you're climbing stairs to the stars." Maya put her foot on the first branch. It was strong, like the helping hand of a friend. She climbed, slow but sure, her breathing matching the rhythm of going up. "Going up lets me see fun things," she said softly, her voice more steady with every step. At the top, the view was wonderful. The meadow looked like a blanket of many colors, and Maya felt a wave of pride. "I'm a little higher up, and it's okay," she said, her fear replaced by wonder. The crystal turned into a tiny oak leaf that glowed with light within. "It's like the tree is giving me a piece of its bravery," Maya said in amazement, across the whispering willows. Their trip took them next through a maze of whispering willows, their long branches a curtain to the world outside. A group of crickets made music as they found their way through the twists and turns. Then, they came into a space where a rope bridge swung between two cliffs. The drop below seemed to open wide like a great mouth, and Maya's heart raced with the sight. This is too much," she said with a stutter, her legs stuck to the spot. Nutty rubbed her hand. "Remember the stepping stones? The tree? You're braver than you know. And look, the bridge has sides you can hold on to." Maya nodded, swallowing her fear. "I'm brave like a superhero on tall buildings," she said out loud, holding the rope tight. Step by step, she crossed the bridge, her eyes looking at the safety on the other side. When she got there, she let out a shout of joy. "I'm doing it, Nutty. I'm really doing it." The crystal gleamed. Now a tiny rope curled in her hand, showing the strength of the bond she had crossed. The Tallest Trees Challenge. Their final test came as the sun started to set low in the sky, painting it with shades of orange and purple. In front of them stood the tallest tree Maya had ever seen, its top lost in the clouds. "This is it," Maya said with a breath. "The highest tree." Nutty's eyes gleamed. "And you're going to climb it." Maya looked up, her heart pounding. "But it's so high." "Look how far you've come," Nutty cheered her on. "You've crossed water, climbed a tree, faced a bridge. This is just one more step." Maya thought of all the heights she had beaten, the crystal's whispers, and her friends' laughter in the trees. "Heights are adventures waiting for me," she said, her voice full of determination. With Nutty by her side, she started to climb. The bark was rough under her hands, but she kept going, higher and higher, until the ground below was just a memory. At last, they made it to the top, where a single Bravery Blossom was blooming, its petals glowing in the light of the setting sun. Maya reached out and touched it, feeling a wave of bravery go through her. "I can face high places with a smile," she said, her voice echoing across the forest. The crystal came back to its star shape, shining brighter than before. "You've found the bravery you were looking for," it whispered, "and the forest is thankful." As they went down, the forest seemed to sing with happiness, and Maya knew she would never feel the same fear again. A gust of wind carried them softly down, setting them at the beginning of a new path that shone with the promise of tomorrow. Maya and Nutty looked at each other, their mission complete, their hearts flying high above the treetops. Triumph returns to the village. As Maya and Nutty made their way back through the forest, their hearts were light, and they walked confidently. The trees seemed to lean in, whispering, "Well done, brave Maya. You've grown so much." The little girl smiled, her fear of heights now just a memory. "Look at us, Nutty. We're walking tall, just like the giants of the forest," Maya said with a clear voice in the cool evening air. "I used to be afraid, but now I feel as strong as an old tree," she thought, her power words echoing in her mind. "I am safe up high. I can see the world from new places and feel good, and every step up is a step in being brave," she said to herself, her words a cozy lullaby to her brave heart. When they got to the village, the cottages shone warmly in the evening. Children were still playing, their laughter on the wind. Maya's friends called out, asking her to join their games in the trees. Nutty pushed her gently. "Go on, Maya. Show them what you can do." With a little flutter in her belly, Maya climbed the well-known tree. The pause was brief, like a leaf in the wind, and she used her tools, her power words. "Heights are adventures waiting for me," to keep going. "Look up," Maya called down, her voice strong. She swung from branch to branch, her laughter mixing with her friends. Nutty clapped his paws, his eyes full of pride. From then on, Maya took every chance to climb. She climbed the grove's highest trees, with joy in her eyes, and she even helped her dad fix the roof, as solid as the ladder beneath her. One sunny day, Maya saw a new girl, Lily, looking up at the trees, her face full of fear. Maya remembered her own path and climbed down to stand with her. "You know, I used to feel just like you do now," Maya said, her voice warm and friendly. "But I learned that with every climb, I become braver." Lily's eyes shone with hope as Maya told her story, her adventures, and the power words that had helped her. And heights, Maya said, they're just new places for fun and smiles. Together, they climbed the tree, Maya's words making a bridge for Lily's courage. Years passed, and Maya's adventures grew. She became a guide, helping others see the beauty of the world from up high. Sometimes she would hear a whisper, like the wind carrying Nutty's cheering, and she'd smile, knowing her path was just beginning. Maya climbed mountains and flew in hot air balloons, her life a picture of wonderful sights. She built tree houses for kids, each one a palace of dreams, way above the ground. As an adult, Maya stood on top of a skyscraper, her work as an architect inspired by the heights she once feared. She looked over the city, her heart thankful. I remember when I was just a little girl, how I found my courage between the trees, she thought. Her power words now sweet memories of the past. I faced high places with a smile, and now I make spaces that reach the sky. Maya Sparkle lived her dream, her life showing the strength of getting over fear, and she knew that any child who looked at her tree houses could find the same brave heart inside themselves.